One gutter cleaning paid me 140 bucks. By the end of the month, it was 4 jobs, and I never knocked on a single door. I've been in the trade for 30 years, and this is the boring money that nobody films on YouTube. Then, the guy asked for gutter guards, so I came back the next night. He bought the material, and I walked away with 360 bucks for 2 short evenings after work. Then, he sent me to his mom's, then his sister's, and that's the whole secret to this list today. It's realistic work, kind of boring, but that refers itself. No van, no license, no quitting your day job. And stick around for number 4, because it's the one I'd start tomorrow if I could. Tack weld that like button for me, guys, and let's get into it. Here's the problem with most of the lists on YouTube. They're built for a guy who doesn't have a job yet. But if you do, you already work enough, right? 40, 50, 60 hours a week, some guys. So a hustle that needs a trailer, a crew, and every Saturday for a year, that's not realistic. That's called a second job. And you don't need a second boss. The one you got now probably sucks. I'm just playing. But seriously, that's the trap, guys. YouTube tells you to go buy a $10,000 rig and build an empire. You'd be paying off that thing for a couple years before you even cleared a dime. Forget all that for now. Let's be realistic about what you need out of a side hustle right now, at least in my opinion. Number 1, it's gotta fit your hours. The hours you actually have. 2 evenings and maybe a weekend morning. That's what you've got left after your normal grind, whatever you're doing. If it needs more, it's a career change. Number 2, it can't eat up a pile of money up front. If you finance tools to start, the tools on the hustle now, not you. And everything on this list, guys, you already own, or you buy it with the first job. Number 3, it uses hands. The hands you already have. We're not learning here. This isn't a new trade over a weekend. You can't. Anybody who says you can is full of malarkey. We point the trade you've got at one small job the homeowner is scared to do or too grossed out to do. That's the filter. It fits your hours and it costs you almost nothing. Uses your hands. Every one of these today, guys, they pass the starter side hustle test. And number 1 is the job that started my whole story. Guys, real quick, I put together a totally free 2026 Blue Collar Resource Guide. It's got links to getting started in union jobs, free apprenticeships, and grants to start your own business. I cover all 50 states here, and it's totally free. It's my gift to you. Just hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a copy. And while you're at it, make sure and tap that subscribe button and notification bell. It's also free to you, and it helps us bring you 3 fresh new videos every single week. I sure appreciate it. Now let's get into it. Okay, let's finish the story I opened with, gutter guards. You clean a guy's gutters, he watches you work, you're halfway through and he asks a magic question. Can you just stop this from happening? Yes you can. Gutter guards are mesh that snaps or screws in. A Merrimax at Home Depot runs a homeowner about $8 a 4-foot section. An average house is 150 feet, so call it $200 in material for a full house. And here's the beautiful part, you already own the ladder and you're already up there anyway. The install is one more evening. On my guy's house I was talking about, I charged $120 for the cleanup and $240 to install the guards. It was about 2 hours of work was all, and I was done before dark. One thing before you climb, ladder safety. It's not optional here. 1 foot of base for every 4 feet up. 3 points of contact and never reach past your belt buckle. You move the ladder and you don't lean. I've watched good men fall just trying to be lazy. Don't be that guy. And the timing is in your favor. Fall right now is the peak season. Every leaf that drops is a homeowner realizing their gutters are packed full. So people are interested in the guards before the trees go bare. Now, where's your first job, you might ask? You don't find it, you clean gutters first for cheap and offer the guards to everybody. The cleaning is your foot in the door. Somebody will say the big guys do it for $2 grand. Good, let them. Their guy shows up in a wrapped truck with a financing brochure. You're already on the ladder. You're not competing with them. You serve the guy who would never call them. Now hear me out. This is the money part. The guards are not the prize. The cleaning gets you on the ladder. The guards are the upsell, and that doubles your ticket. And a guy who buys guards, he trusts you now. He sends you down the street. Start with the cleanings and offer guards to everyone, and half of them will say yes. Number 2, fence and gate repair. Not building fences, fixing them. Every neighborhood has hundreds of sagging gates. A post rotted at the base, a gate that scrapes the dirt, won't latch, a section of storm leaned halfway over, and nobody wants to fix it. It's annoying, it's fiddly, it's the little job the big fence companies won't even call you back for. They want 10 grand teardown jobs, not your neighbor's one gate. That's your lane. The job there is too big to want. A gate rehang is an hour. A no-dig post repair, a steel spur, a bag of Quikrete in 90 minutes. You're charging 150 to 250 bucks. Your whole kit fits in a 5-gallon bucket. Impact driver, a box of structural screws, some hinges, and heavy latches. So where's your first customer at? The leaning gate on your own street. Knock on it. I fix these. I'm right around the corner. I bet I can make it latch today. You'll book 3 probably before the weekend's out. And watch the weather. The morning after every big windstorm, half the gates in town are hanging crooked. That's your phone ringing. Be the guy who posts storm damage. I fix fences the afternoon the wind dies down. And fences, they don't stay fixed forever. The wood rots, the dogs chew it up, the kids swing on the gate. Fix one this year and you're back in 2. It's quietly a repeat business if you do good work. And here's the flip. Fence work is visible. You're in the front yard for 2 hours. The mailman sees you. The neighbor walking the dog, he sees you. The guy across the street whose gate also sags, he really sees you. And that's number 2, doing your advertising for free. All right, back to work. Number 3, and this one's different. This is panic money, sump pump replacement. A sump pump lives in a pit in the basement and it runs when it rains. And it always dies at the worst possible moment. Middle of a storm, water rising, homeowners sitting there just watching their finished basement full of rainwater. They're not out shopping around, they want it fixed now, tonight. A Zoller M53 is about $140 at Home Depot. It's cast iron and it lasts. It's the one I'd carry. Unplug the old one, pull it out, and drop the new one in. Glue one check valve fitting and plug it back in. Pour a bucket of water in it to do a test. It takes about 45 minutes. Once you've done a couple, you charge $150 to $300 for labor. On an emergency call after dark in the rain, charge more, of course, because you showed up and nobody else answered. And here's the smart move. Keep one pump in your garage, just one. So when the call comes at 10 at night, you're not driving to a store that closed at 7. You drive straight to their house, and here's your upsell on this one, guys. Same as the gutter guards. While you're down there, you offer a battery backup. The power goes out in a storm, and that's exactly when the pump's needed most. The outlet is sometimes dead. Another $150 in parts. 30 minutes of their time, half of them take it, because you just scared them straight with the truth. And these calls, they cluster. Older neighborhoods, finished basements, anywhere the water table's high, do one street in the storm and you know exactly where the next dead pump is coming from. And here's the hard part. It's not the plumbing's easy. It's being the guy who answers the phone at 7 at night. That's the whole business. Being reachable when the other guy went home and lets it ring. Now, if you stop the video right here, you'd have plenty to go with, right? Gutter guards, you've got fences, sump pumps, 3-4 jobs a week, and that's a real $1,000 month. Easy, just part-time, off tools you already own. You could close this out and go make money tonight, and I'd be happy for you. But I told you, number 4 is the one I'd start tomorrow, and I meant it. Because these last 2 aren't just jobs, they turn into real businesses if you want. Number 4, the one I'd start tomorrow if I had to start all over, appliance repair. Not hauling them off, fixing them. Everybody's washer, dryer, dishwasher, refrigerator, it breaks, and nobody knows what to do. The manufacturer, they want $200 just to send a guy out, then parts on top of it. So the homeowner sits with a dead dryer for 3 weeks doing laundry at their mom's. You own a multimeter, and most of these fixes are stupid simple once you know the pattern. A dryer with no heat is almost always a heating element or a thermal fuse. That element's $40 and 4 screws. A washer that won't drain is usually a sock in the pump. A fridge that quit is often a fan or a relay. You charge $150 for a diagnostic and a repair. Parts cost you $40, and the job took an hour, and you look like a magician. So where's your first job on this one? Your own street. How about marketplace? Just put appliance repair, retired tradesman. I'll tell you straight if it's worth fixing or not. That honesty line, that books you solid, guys. Everybody's been burned by a guy who upsold them. And that honesty, it runs both ways. Sometimes you open it up and that old washer isn't worth the part. So be honest and tell him, this one I'd let go. Buy the new one. I'll haul this out for you. You lost a repair and you want a customer for life. On tip and parts. You don't carry every part for every brand. You diagnose on the first trip, order the part that night, and come back in 2 days. 2 short visits fits right into your evenings. But here's the reality that makes this one the one I'd build. Every one of these customers keeps having appliances break. Forever. Fix a guy's dryer once, and now you're the appliance guy for his whole street. That's not a job, that's a customer list that never stops growing. Number 5, and this is the big ticket one, furniture and cabinet refinishing. Start small here, guys. People have furniture they love that's beat to death. A dresser or a dining table, you strip it, you sand it, you refinish it, and you hand it back looking brand new. A couple $100 a piece, done in your garage on a weeknight. but the dresser is just a doorway. Here's the room. Kitchen cabinets, a homeowner gets a quote to replace their cabinets. $20,000, maybe even $30,000. They nearly fall over. Then somebody tells them the cabinets don't have to go. Same boxes, new doors and drawer fronts, a sprayed factory finish for a few thousand. And you're that guy. A cabinet refinish runs $2,000 to $4,000 and the material's a few hundred in primer and good finish. General finishes, sprayed not brushed. The rest is your hands. A weekend or two. Now the honest part, this one takes real care. A sprayed finish shows every drip and every dust nick, so you practice on your own vanity first. Get it perfect before you charge a dime. And once you're good, here's where the volume lives. House flippers, they're redoing kitchens all year, and they need cabinets to look expensive on a budget. Find the flippers in your town and refinish one kitchen for them, and you've got a customer buying for a year. That, my friends, could be your bread and butter. The one-off homeowners are your gravy. Do that and it's not a side hustle anymore. That's a business hiding inside of a side hustle. It starts with a $200 dresser and ends with you turning work away. Let me take you back to that first gutter cleaning. $140, that's all it was. A boring little job most guys wouldn't even roll out of bed for. But that one job became the guards. The guards became his mom's house. His mom's house became his sister's. One cleaning, 4 paydays, same month, and not $1 of advertising. I never bought a thing I didn't already own. I just did the boring job in front of me, and I did it right, and I answered the phone when it rang. And it doesn't matter which trade you come up in, carpenter, welder, line worker, mechanic, every one of these 5 is just you using your hands you already trust on a job somebody needs done. You're not starting over. You're pointing 30 years at a new door, that's all. And that's the whole secret, fellas. You don't need the perfect hustle. You don't need a logo or a business plan. You need one real job done well in front of somebody who has a mom, a sister, and a neighbor 2 doors down. The work refers itself. It always has. That's the part that nobody films on YouTube. So there's your 5, fellas. Gutter guards, fence and gate repair, sump pumps, appliance repair, and refinishing. Realistic, low tool, and every one of them multiplies while you sleep. And you don't just do one, you stack them. You're fixing a gate and you look up, the gutters are full. Want me to knock those out while I'm here? 1 trip, 2 tickets. That's how a slow month turns into a full one. So picture it, 3-4 jobs a week, an extra grand or 2 a month off skills already in your hands without asking your boss for one single thing. The only thing between you and that is the first phone call, the first boring job. So here's your homework and don't skip it. Pick one, just one, the one that matches the tool already in your truck. Then this week, not someday, this week, find the one house that needs it and go knock. That's the whole start. 1 tool, 1 knock, 1 boring job. Now the next problem is figuring out which one fits your town and your schedule. I made 2 videos exactly on that, and I cover all kinds of blue collar side hustles here on JB Charles TV. Make sure you check out the 2 I recommend on the end screen, and thanks for checking out the video today, guys. I'm JB. I'll see you on the next one.